when you retire, especially when you retire on top, it's.
Okay, so is it perfectly acceptable to say about yourself that you went out on top, especially when you didn't? Is it just that this guy is a liar? Is he just not humble? Is he delusional? In any event, I hope he does not come back. He definitely brings down the sport. Now, what is up with this documentary? Would anyone actually go see a documentary, or pay anyway, to see a documentary about Andre Ward?
Right now, I'm working on my documentary, and that's going to be really, really, really revealing. You guys are going to see firsthand some of the things that I had to go through before the first Kovalev fight, and it's going to be alarming. The fact that we even made it to the fight.
Then if all of this isn't bad enough, the dude actually says no one will do to Kovalev what he did.
You're not going to know what Kovalev has. The issue with him wasn't like technical or physical, it was psychological, it was mental. And you won't know if that's been changed or if that's been dealt with unless he's put in the same situation. And frankly, I don't think it has been changed because, out of the abundance of a man's heart, his mouth speaks. So you hear the type of things that he's saying. He's not taking personal ownership of nothing. He's still marginalizing the victory. He's still minimizing it. So that's letting me know that nothing has changed. And I realized that after we fought the first time. Now, if he would have went and said, look, man, it was a close fight. I thought I won, but I'm in the lab working, and he went away and became quiet, I'd be concerned. But the fact that he chirped the way that he did, he revealed too much to me, and it's the same guy. Like, he doesn't know how to take personal responsibility for adversity. He wants to do this. It's the blame game. So when you do that, you don't really improve.
Now, in a strange way, I guess that makes sense. How many grown men actually celebrate hitting another grown man in their balls? I mean, you hear girls all the time saying, I would kick him in his balls. And, you do see kids, I'm talking 10-year-old kids, who snap each other, for example, with a towel in the balls and think it's funny. But two high-level professional boxers, and Andre Ward is celebrating punching another man in his balls, and then he says he went out on top after a performance like that. So to me, this is one of the lowest points in boxing, at least in recent history. And that was when Ward had the condescending smile on his face after cheating. Right here, he knew that he had gotten away with some very dirty, deplorable, illegal acts. Anyway, moving along, No Mas Chenko. Now, in all possible outcome scenarios, I never thought Rigo would quit. I have heard both sides of the debate, one being that why continue if your wrist is injured? Live the fight another day. The other being you should never quit. Now let's be honest, Rigo wasn't absorbing any devastating strikes. He just looked helpless out there. In my personal opinion, Rigo actually broke or mentally broke when the point was deducted. He knew from that moment forward, absolutely no way he was going to get the victory. Plus, he couldn't hug and keep Loma off him. He actually had to use legitimate defense to protect himself. So from that moment, he mentally broke. I mean, he could have broke his wrist. I don't know. Anybody's guess until he can come up anything. He can come up with X-rays, whatever. But I think he mentally broke at that point. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he damaged his hand beyond repair. Could not continue. Now, I have never been a big Rigo fan per se, but I have always respected the guy. It was difficult to be a fan because of his strategy or the style he uses. He always just he has these really long arms and just waits outside and waits and waits and waits some more for the perfect opportunity when his opponent kind of slips up or gives an opening, and then he strikes. And then it's back to just waiting and waiting. However, obviously with Loma, that strategy did not work well. Loma just has way too many looks, is way too fast, and is way, way too clever inside the ring. Now, like I said, I've never been a big fan of Rigo. I guess you could say I was a semi-fan, and I may be the only true fan in existence, excluding the Cuban School of Boxing. I mean, looking at it logically, how would Rock Nation be able to sign a two-time gold medalist, two-time Olympic gold medalist who has fans? I mean, there would be too many real boxing promoters out there trying to grab him up if he had somewhat of a fan base. Same thing with Andre Ward. I mean, a U.S. Olympic gold medalist with fans. How would Rock Nation be able to get their hands on him? Unless, of course, he has no fans. I mean, Olympic gold medalist with an undefeated record should have some value, right? Wrong. Now, what I cannot understand is why Andre Ward has so much hatred for Kovalev. I mean, let's be honest. Sergey Kovalev made Andre Ward. Andre Ward had no pay-per-views, could not sell out arenas. He was fighting guys like Paul Smith and Alexander Brand with no attendance. Nobody knew about Andre Ward. However, once he signed a fight, The Crusher, people slowly began to find out about Ward. So instead of being so critical, Andre Ward needs to write 2 public, open letters. One apologizing to Kovalev for the low blows, and the other actually thanking him for allowing Ward to get huge paydays. Now, as far as Rigo, the most disappointing thing to me, I mean, the guy quit, but even more disappointing was when he called Loma normal.
We're now joined by Guillermo Rigondeaux. Guillermo, ¿por qué no pudiste continuar? Why could you not continue?
La mano, o sea, ya el segundo round ya no podía ya tirar la mano. Perdí.
I lost, but it was because my hand. In the second round, I injured the top of it. I lost, but it was because my hand. In the second round, I injured the top of it, and I could no longer continue. ¿Qué te sorprendió de tu rival Vasyl Lomachenko esta noche? What surprised you about Vasyl?
Un boxeador normal, técnico, rápido, explosivo, es muy bueno también.
He's a very technical fighter. He's normal though, but he's very technical, very quick, very explosive. ¿El tamaño marcó diferencia esta noche? Did the weight difference mark a difference?
No, pero Lomachenko no está haciendo nada tampoco del otro mundo. No está haciendo nada, porque puede tirar malas manos y ya no puede hacer más nada.
You know, Lomachenko really wasn't doing anything. It wasn't about the weight. Really, it was just a hand that I injured, and that's why I could not continue. The fans say it all here at Madison Square Garden. Le das crédito a Vasyl Lomachenko. I do give Vasyl Lomachenko credit, though. He is an excellent boxer. We'll see what happens with the career of Guillermo Rigondeaux as Vasyl Lomachenko keeps moving up in the boxing world.
Lomachenko was normal. Rigo should have been able to continue the fight with one hand. Lomachenko definitely is not normal. Now, Rigo could have just been caught up in the moment. Throughout the fight, the guy pretty much just looked lost. He looked helpless. In my opinion, you need to be gracious in both victory and in defeat. I mean, let's listen to Lomo here.
Silly, that's 4 guys that don't come out of their corner in a row. What's your new nickname?
Maybe I change my second name. Maybe I change now. My name is No Mas Chenko. My name is No Mas Chenko.
How were you able to be so dominant tonight against a fighter who's got so much talent, who's got such a great pedigree like Guillermo Rigondeaux?
He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's a top. He's a top fighter. He's the king in the boxing, but he's the king in his weight category. He's the king in his weight category. It's not his size. It's not his weight. So it's not big win for me because it's another weight category.
Pure class. So as far as Rigo, what is next? Who knows? I mean, overcoming being known as a quitter is going to be very difficult. I mean, let's be honest, Lomachenko didn't even let loose. He didn't really cause any significant damage. He was just outboxing him, outpointing him. Obviously, it was going to get worse, especially if Rigondeaux was not able to hold. But at the point that he quit, he had not suffered any significant damage. At least that was apparent to the naked human eye. He just looked like his spirits were broken and he was mentally destroyed. So Rigo's kind of old. I mean, he's still very talented, man. I know people don't like him. I don't put him anywhere near as a deplorable person as Andre Ward, even though the post-fight interview was pretty bad. But Ward is someone who has had every possible advantage and still is a hateful person. But I'm getting off topic. As far as Lomachenko, I definitely hope he fights Mikey Garcia, man. That would be a classic. And, I mean, let's be honest, Lomo fighting Rigondeaux, even though Rigo was much smaller, definitely, it just helps his resume. I'm assuming that Lomo, who always continues to evolve and learn, did actually pick up some things from that fight, what they were. I mean, who knows, but I'm sure he learned something. He's very respectful after the fight. And I just hope that he fights Mikey Garcia soon. Anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts. Take care. Have a great day.